I wrote my fourth open letter to human leaders as of April 2019. I had been studying human problems for 40 years, and in the same year, the English version of my book, Saving Humanity, was published in North America. Actually, my book, Saving Humanity, was translated into English shortly after it was published in China in 2007. However, after the English version came out, no suitable publishing agency could be found. Then, my English version has been available online for a long time, since 2008 when it was posted. It was not until 2019 that the publisher was finalized. Sure, the book was retranslated because there were issues with the previous translation. The retranslated version was published in North America in April 2019. I took this opportunity to write my fourth open letter to the leaders of mankind. When I wrote my fourth open letter, I had learned some lessons from the past. Previously, I sent letters only to the leaders of major countries and the Secretary General of the UN. Since leaders of major countries are extremely busy and have a high status, it's not surprising that I had received no response. This time, I bore the lesson in mind. I sent letters to every head of state. I sent letters not only to politicians, but to famous scholars, scientists, and global influencers, together with my books and videos. This time, I sent thousands of letters, together with thousands of books. The postage alone cost me several 100,000 yuan, not to mention the costs of the books. The postage alone was costly enough. This time, the letters worked eventually. When I sent letters to leaders of various countries, I included not only the current leaders, but also many former ones. Take Chinese leaders as an example. I sent letters not only to President Xi Jinping, but also to retired leaders, such as former leaders, like President Jiang Zemin and President Hu Jintao, Premier Zhu Rongji, and Premier Wen Jiabao. I sent letters to many of the former leaders, so there were a great number of letters. After so many letters were sent, I received several responses, mainly from small and medium-sized countries, like ambassadors of Slovakia, Guyana, Mexico, Sri Lanka, and Rwanda in China. I also received replies from some famous scientists, such as the Nobel Prize winner Sir Gregory Winter, Master of Trinity College, Cambridge, President of the University of Manchester, UK, and President of the City University of Hong Kong. They replied to my letter, so my letter this time had some effect. Let me briefly introduce this letter. It is titled The Fourth Open Letter to the Leaders of Mankind, and was written when the English version of Saving Humanity was published in North America. Distinguished leaders all round the world, the UN Secretary General, world top scientists and scholars, and heads of global well-known media. Dear leaders, because science and technology have been developing rapidly in the past over 200 years, since the Industrial Revolution in the mid-18th century, and have reached a certain height today, some developing technologies will have the ability to destroy human beings. Many scientists have come to realize this. When the Chinese version of Saving Humanity by me was published in China in 2007, I wrote to the leaders of mankind for the first time to call for a global action to control the development of science and technology. At that time, Few people realized that science and technology could destroy mankind. Science and technology have made great progress in the past 10 years, especially the rapid development of artificial intelligence in recent years has made more scientists realize that if we do not take immediate action, human beings will fall into the abyss of extinction. As a human being, I'm so worried about it. When the English version of my book, Saving Humanity, was published in North America, I wrote to respectable leaders of mankind to call on all human beings to be vigilant and united in action as soon as possible, because there is not much time left for us. Next, I will briefly introduce the basis on which I conclude that science and technology will soon exterminate mankind. First, science and technology have the ability to destroy human beings, and it's not far ahead. Second, human beings are unable to judge the safety of science and technology comprehensively and accurately due to the uncertainty of science and technology. Third, mankind can't make good use of scientific and technological achievements universally and rationally. Finally, it comes to my appeal: the continued development of science and technology will destroy human beings in the near future, in 200 or 300 years, or in the century. I think it is mostly the latter, because it is only one step away from the means of extinction. What really worries me is that the whole world is in a state of numbness of development at present. Any calls and warnings on the safety of science and technology are very weak. I have studied human problems for 40 years. It goes without saying that I have been rushing and appealing for this. The warnings of some of the top scientists are not helpful either. People are intoxicated with the various enjoyments brought by science and technology. Developing numbness is crisis numbness. The sea is often very calm before the great waves come, but the undercurrents are surging on the sea floor. When any scientific and technological research is carried out naturally, any scientific and technological achievements are affirmed naturally, and any scientific and technological products are used naturally, a devastating disaster may not be far ahead. Every step of us determines our future and determines our final outcome. Though science and technology have developed to such a high level, we are still moving forward, moving forward, moving forward. One step further. We will step on the mine. It's a landmine that destroys mankind. When we set foot on it, we can't go back. It is our first time and will be our last. Anthropologist, entrepreneur, and member of the CPPCC Mentogo District Committee, Beijing. Above is my 4th letter to human leaders in April 2019. Thank you.